Okay, we have Dr. Ken Flowers from Lake Michigan College here talking about Earn and Learn. So Dr. Flowers, tell us a little bit about what Earn and Learn program is about.
So the Earn and Learn program is an internship opportunity for students to apply for companies that have applied to college to participate in this foundation opportunity. Whirlpool has set aside dollars that have grown into an opportunity for student or for companies to apply, get dollars up to $12 an hour to cover the cost of a potential internship. The students are working to a maximum of 20, covers to a maximum of 20 hours per week times 12 weeks. And so it really helps students and our local companies kind of move forward and getting some things done that they would be doing through the summer. Quite a few companies have applied already this year. For example, that a lot of culinary companies, a lot of new hospitality companies that need help in their spaces as we build for summer work.
So it sounds like a great opportunity for current students who are looking for some great work experience and also to earn a little money with a part-time job. And it's a great experience for employers too, to get the help they need and get a little bit of help paying for those employees.
It
And
really benefits employers that normally wouldn't be able to potentially hire on an intern. So it really gives them a great opportunity to take on some extra roles and growth for their operation to see how things fit. And so it pays upwards to $12 an hour. So potentially the college covers 70% of a certain wage up to. So you could potentially have an employer that could pay $17 an hour, get $12 an hour of that back. So they're really only a little less than $5 an hour out of pocket. So it works well for an employer.
great. So can a student choose which employer they wanted to work for, or do they just make a general application and we place them?
It's a little bit of both. So we want the students to apply because the students need to have been at the college for at least a year, have a minimum of 24 credit hours. Students have to have a 2.5 point grade point minimally. So we want students that already show that they can work hard and that are getting closer to being done with getting into their career. But once they apply, we'll look through the application. One of the things we like them to do is also get a recommendation from one of their instructors to show that there's some instructors, again, because it's really good, just like when you get a job anywhere, you get a recommendation. So it's a really good solid start to be able to ask for that. We look at those things. We will place students hopefully as close to their home as possible. Sometimes that's not always the case, but also an employer in a field of interest where they might be interested in, if that fits too.
Great. So what's the application process for a student? Do they have to interview as well, or do they have to apply individually for each employer?
So one of the things, so we will help place with the employer, but we'll also introduce the student to the employer as well to make sure that's a fit. That's one of the things that we'll have to make sure that we work out with the student and the employer to help place them. So yeah, there'll be a process where they'll meet with me, and then I will turn around, and if it feels like it's a fit, I will introduce them to the employer.
All right. Is there a list of current job opportunities somewhere that
Yes,
students?
I can provide that to you,
Okay.
Candace. I think that's something that's important, so I can provide that list to you.
Great. We'll put it up on the website.
Sure.
All right. How long does it last? Do they all start at the same time, or can they start whenever it works for the student or the employer?
Yeah, that's a little, so it can start whenever it works best for the student employer. We pay up through, the grant covers 12 weeks. So again, then the employer can choose to pay beyond that if it works out well, but the college will only support 12 weeks times that minimum dollar an hour. And again, it works out great. So again, it also can be less depending on the student. So generally we try to promote starting when school is out so the students can make sure they have their classes for the spring semester behind them, and then they can move on from there.
Great. Okay. So what's some feedback that you've heard from previous students who have gone through this process?
We've had some general success at many places. One of our board members owns a business, Mary Jo Tomasini Competitive Edge, and one of the students actually ended up working for them full time. And so that was, and they used that process before to get students again. So it's worked out very well. So we've had some really positive success for students where students have got done with the grant and employers have kept hiring them, bringing them on. Because really, this is a great opportunity for employers to see inexpensively how well an individual is going to be for working for them. And they can without having much resources allocated, they can choose to take this person on, and it works out well. I mean, it shows a great fit. And also, though, shows students how to be a good employee as well.
Great. It sounds like a win-win for everybody. What's the application deadline?
Right now, we're shooting for April 30th, if possible. But again, we can extend that because really we're more interested, not so much the deadline. You try to have a deadline because to make sure it gets students to meet a certain timeline. But right now, I think we're trying to find the best candidates for the best positions. So if we go beyond the 30th, it's not that big of a deal, but we're trying to shoot by the 30th. So again, companies can plan for their staffing as well.
All right, great. Is there anything else that students should know?
I think that students should be prepared to be prepared for these great opportunities. I think, and really ask good questions of these employers. Because again, one of the things that college tries to promote is how your education is preparing you for the workplace. So be prepared to talk to the employers, and then also come back and have questions for your instructors, what you're doing and how it correlates to the career and link to the classes. Because I think that's when students really get excited about education, when you can see the career link to what they're doing, to what they're learning.
Fantastic. Okay, and it sounds like students can go to lakemichigancollege.edu, earn-and-learn. Is there another way that students should get a hold of you with any questions?
They can certainly, my email address is linked to that site. So it's flowers@lakemichigancollege.edu. That's the best way to get a hold of me, is through email. And I'll reply as quickly as I can to answer any of their questions.
All right, great. Well, Dr. Flowers, thank you so much for the time and information, and I hope we get lots of great students to fill those positions.
Thank you, Candace.
All right, take care.